Hello, good evening, everyone. It is now 6:02 p.m. and I would like to call this meeting to order. Ms. Akopian, may you lead us in the flag salute?
Yes. Please face the flag. Put your right hand over your heart. Please begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Akopian. At this time, I would like to see who is present. Vice President Ramirez.
Present.
Clerk Cabrera.
Present.
Board Member Magaña.
Present.
Board Member Uribe.
Present.
And I'm present as well. Thank you. May I please have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez.
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera.
Aye.
Board Member Magaña.
Aye.
Board Member Uribe.
Aye.
And an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. At this time, I would like to call on our legal counsel.
Thank you, President Gutierrez. This is the announcement regarding public comment. For members of the public who may wish to provide public comment in real time during tonight's meeting, we direct you to the instructions under item number 9 on tonight's agenda. Please ensure to provide public comment at the designated time for public comment by dialing 323-887-7900 extension 2494, or by clicking the raise hand button on the Zoom application, or dial *9 to raise your hand from a phone. If members of the public dial in telephonically and the line is busy or goes straight to voicemail, please hang up and try again. Public speakers may choose but need not identify themselves to the Board of Education. However, if any follow-up may be required, providing contact information is encouraged. Accordingly, members of the public should be prepared to identify themselves, provide contact information, and the agenda matter they wish to address. Further, the board may limit the overall time of public comment, to no more than 30 minutes, or limit the time per speaker to 1 minute for purposes of efficiency to ensure the district can carry on with its business as agendized. Again, this is at the board's discretion. For further directions and information, please refer to item number 9 on tonight's agenda.
Thank you, legal counsel. Dr. Garland, are there any modifications to tonight's agenda?
Good evening, Madam President. Yes, item 6K has been pulled from the agenda.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Garland. Is there a motion to approve the agenda with the modifications as indicated by Dr. Garland?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Let's do a roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez.
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera.
Aye.
Board Member Magaña.
Aye.
Board Member Uribe.
Aye.
And an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. At this time, we're going to move on to student board member reports. I would like to call on Dr. Garland.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, executive cabinet, Dr. Scravana, and our community. It's my pleasure to begin my favorite part of our meetings, hearing from our wonderful students, all the events that are happening on their campuses across the district. So we will begin with Applied Technology Center High School.
Good evening. Before I continue, are you able to hear me? I'm sorry about the music. I'm at work
Yes.
right now.
We can hear you.
Sorry. Good evening, President Gutierrez, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Scaverna, and the Executive Cabinet. My name is Sandy Membreno, and I'm the student body president for the ASD of the Applied Technology Center. Yesterday, ATC High School had a great night hosting the Science and Engineering Fair. The ACE pathway took second place in the 11th grade engineering category with the small living project represented by Darna Shimoda and Lizette Lacona for their entry. Tomorrow, ACE pathway will also be celebrating the class of 2022-2023 incoming 10th grade students. They are looking forward to a great architecturally, engineering, and constructive year. The chef pathway catered to the science fair and provided participants and their family members with house-made focaccia sandwiches, chocolate chip cookies, and strawberry lemonade. Pathway seniors will continue with their capstone project, Bistro 22, this week by inviting and treating their family members to a meal cooked and served by them on the 12th of May. Bistro 22 will open one last time on May 19th for lunch. If you would like to make a reservation, please contact me for more information. All proceeds from Bistro 22 support senior scholarships and the chef program. 91% of ATC seniors completed a FAFSA and Dream Act application. 80% of ATC seniors are planning to continue their education in a four-year university or community college. A huge shout out to all of the staff that guided students on this journey. Now seniors are focused on applying for scholarships and celebrating their accomplishments. On May 26, ATC will hold a school-wide senior Decision Day celebration. Seniors are not the only ones with a day dedicated to them, but the class of 2025 will also have one, as they will be having their Pathway Decision Day tomorrow, the 5th of May. On the 8th of April, our ASB hosted a well-participated lip sync battle, which included every grade level. Though they all performed very well, the top three contestants were presented the prizes of AirPods, Nintendo Switch, and a Lego Treehouse. The TLC Club has been very active this month as they volunteered for the City Montebello's Easter event, the Extravaganza, on the 16th of April. But the weekend just before that, they hosted their barbecue fundraiser, which was well attended as all the guests enjoyed their ribs, games, raffles, and carrot cake. They're also preparing for another event this Saturday, the 7th of May, their annual Mother's Day car show. Another club, the Music Club, is having a fundraiser this week on Friday, offering free popcorn with the purchase of 3 songs for $1.50. Another thing to look forward to is our school's art show on the 20th of May, presenting our students' beautiful work. Throughout the month of April, we've been preparing for prom as venues, menus, and entertainment was all finalized. The prom candidates were also involved in various games as they competed for the crown. Our prom was held last week on the 29th, which had great food, entertainment, and a reveal of the crowned prom queen and king. We'd like to congratulate both Abigail Cruz and Efren Hasso for the victory. Our student government is also currently still selling grad night tickets for the 3rd of June. So as of now, this is what is planned for the month of May. That is all for the Applied Technology Center Student Board report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandy, for sharing. I do have one question. When is your Senior Decision Day celebration again?
The Senior Decision Day, that should be the 26th of May.
The 26th of May, perfect. Is there any questions or comments from my colleagues? Okay, hearing none. Thank you so much, Sandy.
Next up, we have Bell Gardens High School.
Hello, good evening, President Gutierrez, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Sforna, and Executive Cabinet. My name is Emily Maris, and I am the Associate Body President from Bell Gardens High School. First off, I want to start with announcing how our mighty Lancers have definitely been working hard while they do their best on their SBACs, CAS, and AP testing this month. Starting with all the events we had since generating a lot of buzz at our most recent Spirit Week, ASB is planning for one more Spirit Week before the school year comes to an end. ASB also had a collaboration with All Stars program, which students had the opportunity to create their own class shirts. Then we had our junior prom committee. ASB hosted a prom informational meeting on April 13th. Students were able to ask questions, pick their meal, and be entered into raffles for free tuxedo rental and free boutonniere/corsage set. ASB elections took place in April, and we are excited for our class officers and ASB cabinet that will be leading our student body for the academic year 2022 to 2023. We are also proud to have announced our new ASB members for next year. We had a very much needed spring break, which Environmental Club celebrated Earth Day on April 21st by hosting a volunteer planting of 16 saplings around the campus. Lastly, we would like to thank all the students' council representatives who attended meetings once a month during second period. Thank you for being the voice for your homerooms. Then we have sports. As we came to the end of the spring sports season, we would like to acknowledge the track teams became league champions, having the smallest squad. The varsity track team has 5 athletes advancing to CIF prelims. We have the boys volleyball team advanced to round 2 of CIF competition. We have Bogota softball win their first wild card game against Calvary Chapel and will face Hawthorne High on Thursday, May 5th. We have the Bogota baseball team finish their season strong with a young team, and we look forward to next season. Lastly, we have swim team sent junior Nick Garcia to CIF. Congratulations to our springs athletes for your amazing contribution to your season. We are planning to recognize future college athletes on campus soon. Then we have the events. We have the junior prom committee. They did a remarkable job of selling out of prom and grand night events. We have Disneyland and Magic Mountain. Here we come. Our VAPA department is proudly showcasing student talent, orchestra, jazz, dance, choir, drama concerts. The All-Stars After School program has introduced interesting classes such as beauty, bar, custom car club, and loteria night. The CHOP pathway also continues to exceed in their culinary skills by introducing to the staff and students new items such as cucumber chia seed lemonade with chamoy rim. It was yummy. We are excited to reintroduce Powder Puff on campus. Some senior girls will face a group of junior girls in a friendly flag football game this Friday, May 6th at 6 p.m. As we come to the end of the school year, we have a tradition of hosting Pride Spectacular, assembly where the senior class is showcased, performance take place, recognitions take place, and all classes exhibit their class pride by wearing their class shirts. This year, Pride will take place on May 20th. Lastly, on Monday, May 2nd, our seniors proudly displayed their future colleges, universities, and paths by wearing their gear representing their choices. It was a great day to recognize all our future college students and staff who proudly wore their alma mater gear. Are there any questions from the board members? No? Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Emily.
Thank you. Our next student board member is from Montebello High School.
I just want to quickly apologize in advance. I have a little bit of a cold, so if my voice is a little choppy, it's on my fault. But good evening, Board President Gutierrez, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Skvarna, Executive Cabinet, and members of the audience. My name is Lily Ijan, and I am the Associate Student Body President at Montebello High School. The month of April was so calm but so hectic at Montebello High School for some reason. We started the month off with prom ticket sales. We gave priorities to seniors for 2 days, and then on April 6th and 7th, we opened it up to juniors and seniors. Our prom will be themed Once Upon a Time, and our students couldn't be more excited given that prom is right around the corner. ASB also sold grad night tickets during the week of April 4th to the 8th, and our grad night will be hosted at Six Flags on May 26th. ASB had the honor to plan an Easter egg hunt for our adult transition program that was on April 14th. It was a pleasure to see how excited and how grateful they were, and it truly showed us how amazing it is that we get to do these things in ASB and put a smile on others' faces. We had yearbook ID pictures for underclassmen during the week of April 25th to the 28th. And on April 29th, PTSA hosted yet another movie night. It was a great turnout again, and the kids really enjoyed watching Spider-Man 2002. Because April was the month of hope, ASB had this great idea of making this humongous poster that said hope at the top, and then in the middle it said take what you need. And there was about 200 post-its on there, like different color, just to make it more vibrant. And on these post-its, we had motivational quotes, just phrases that might uplift another one's day. And in about a duration of one lunchtime, all the post-its were gone. So it was a really great hit to the point where we decided to add more. So we added more a couple of days ago, and those are almost all gone as well. And on April 28th, CSF hosted a Smash Bros. Tournament. It was very surprising to see how many kids love to play video games that I didn't know of. As May 1st quickly started to approach us, seniors got antsier and antsier, and I honestly don't know how Ms. Brenzel does it, and I don't know how she deals with us, but I truly want to say thank you from our senior class for everything she's done for us during our college process. Since we are on the topic of college, we will be hosting a SUR Day on May 6th, which will be a great stress reliever for most of our seniors, especially the ones taking any AP exams this week. On Monday, May 2nd, we started AP exams. And let's just say this is the first year I got to take an in-person AP exam. And I'm glad it is the last AP exam I have to ever take. On May 12th, we will be hosting a spring blood drive and as well as a senior versus faculty game. And there will be many more senior activities to come as graduation approaches, and we couldn't be more excited. Thank you for your time and acknowledgement. Are there any questions?
Thank you so much, Lily. I just want to say I hope you feel better. And I really appreciate your energy and how you share your report, even though being sick. So I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
I see Board Member Uribe. You have your hand up.
Yes, Lily, I was going to say get some rest, feel better, and hopefully you'll recover soon.
Thank you so much.
Next up, we have Shore High School. Samantha wasn't able to make it, so the vice president is here, Natalia Mendez.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good evening, President Gutierrez, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Scarvana, and the executive cabinet. My name is Natalia Mendez, and I'm the student body vice president from Shore High School. So as mentioned, Samantha was unfortunately unable to attend today's meeting, so I will be filling in for her. So I'll be discussing the matters from the month of April and the early month of May. So USB elections took place the first week of April, and winners were announced on Monday, May 2nd. So congratulations to those winners. Avid hosted senior tag, in which the winner, Diego Peleas, won $150. That was a really good event that I believe our school hosted because it was able to involve all the students, and it was just so fun seeing them, kind of run around and have fun. On April 8th, Renaissance concluded their annual Mr. Shore High. This is a fundraiser for the Leadership Club, which is basically like a male beauty pageant that has 3 categories, including beachwear, formal wear, and a talent. So based off this year's winner was Samuel Backlig. We also had the Sadie's Hawkins dance, which took place on April 29th. The theme was the 70s, and the halls are decorated with detailed posters from Shore's very own Girls League. As for sports, Shore's varsity baseball has their first round of playoffs this Thursday against Valencia High School after taking their Alman League championship title. And track and field individuals will also be competing this Saturday in CIF at Trabuco Hills High School. So good job to them. I'm really proud of our sports team this year. AP exams also started on May 2nd, where students take a 3-hour exam that they have been preparing for all year. So I know it's really stressful for them, but hopefully everyone is able to do their best. On May 11th, Avid is hosting the next step, where seniors will be able to show what their plans are after graduation. Prom will be taking place on May 28th at the Annenberg Building, and this year's theme is based off the Disney movie Tangled, and it's titled Light the Night. Renaissance is preparing for their rally that recognizes students with a 2.0 or higher GPA, and their theme for this year will be High School Musical. And we also have Powder Puff, which will be taking place on May 20th. Powder Puff is a fundraiser for the school's football program, where the junior and senior girls will be playing flag football against each other. And senior boys are able to participate in cheerleading for this. So their first meeting for this was at lunch today. And finally, we have the Spartan Legion, who won their division in California State Band Championships. This is all the updates I have during this time. Are there any questions from the board members? Okay, if there are no questions, I thank you for your time.
No questions, but thank you so much for being here tonight, Natalia. Thank you so much.
Next, we have our student board member from Vale High School.
Oh, sorry. Okay, can you guys see me? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes,
sorry. Can you guys still see me?
yes, we can hear you.
Good evening, Madam President Gutierrez, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Scavana, and the exclusive cabinet. My name is Ana Salgado, and I am Vale High School's president. Last month on April 14th, 2022, we had our Val prom. It was very successful and everyone had a good time. All the planning and organizing was worth it. Students and teachers had a very good time and enjoyed the night. We're also getting ready for our senior grand night at Universal Studios on May 13, 2022. A lot of students and staff are very excited for this day. We're also getting ready for Cinco de Mayo, which is tomorrow, and we're going to have activities for our students since we need to embrace our culture. Some of the activities are a teacher versus students kickball game, which we are very excited about, since that's the time when all the Val community come together. We will also be giving out candy to students who participate in our activities. Our next step is graduation. We will be selling cap and gowns. We have been selling cap and gowns for our seniors, and the ceremony will take place in Val, June 10, 2022. May is a very important month for us seniors since we are 1 month away from graduating, and we are all very excited to start a new chapter in our life. That concludes my presentation. Is there any questions?
No questions, but thank you so much. I love your Mexican flag in the background.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aranza. Have a great night.
You too.
And that concludes our student board member reports for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Garland and student board members. At this time, we are moving on to recognition 2022 Employees of the Year. I would like to call on Ms. Akopian.
Good evening, Board President Gutierrez, esteemed board members, Superintendent Dr. Skavarna, MUSC leadership, and community participants. It is my pleasure tonight to present to you the recipients of the 2022 Teacher of the Year and Classified School Employee of the Year awards. Great teachers change lives and make the world a better place, one student at a time. The Montebello Unified School District is committed to high academic achievement for our students, and it all begins with great teachers. It begins with you. We appreciate your hard work and dedication to put the educational and social emotional needs of Montebello Unified School District students first through fostering relationships, partnering with families, and engaging in innovative ways to inspire learning. Furthermore, I want to express deep appreciation for the achievement of another group of our distinguished recipients, our Classified School Employees of the Year. Committed and dedicated employees like you are the foundation of our district. You provide leadership and strength to us all through example. You hold the torch for students. We thank you for your hard work, creativity, and kindness, and for going above and beyond in serving the students and families of the Montebello Unified School District. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the 2022 Teacher of the Year and Classified School Employee of the Year awards. Mr. Chin, would you please play our video? May we start from the beginning? Thank you. From Bandini Elementary, Sylvia Montenegro and Denise Wong. From Bell Gardens Elementary, Myra Lavendez and Isaias Garcia. From Bella Vista Elementary, Myrna Lua and Gregory Morales. From Silver Chavez Elementary, Ali Ramos and Maria Castro Perez. From Fremont Elementary, Anna Chin and Hilda Arvesta. From Garfield Elementary, Isabella Hernandez and Vanessa Montes. From Greenwood Elementary, Sarah Aguilar. From Joseph Gasco Elementary, Linda Equipapillero and Juliet Martin. From La Merced Elementary, Marisela Jimenez and Crystal Lozano. From Montebello Gardens Elementary, Imelda Garcia. From Montebello Park Elementary, Irma Garcia and Angie Gonzalez. From Potrero Heights Elementary, Gayet and Arlene Pacay. From Rosewood Park School, Peter Rico and Josue Guerrero. dedication, and commitment. Congratulations to all of our recipients. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the recipients. At this time, I would like to move on to school service organizations. Dr. Yuen, do we have any school service organization reports? I'm sorry, I see Board Member Uribe, you have your hand up.
Yes, but I don't know if Magaña had it first.
Oh, no worries. Go ahead, Board Member Uribe.
Okay, I just wanted to congratulate all of the employees. Today was such a busy day, but just having the music and just, seeing the amazing people that we are recognizing this evening makes everything worth it. And I just wrote a few words. I want to congratulate and express my sincerest appreciation for Employees of the Year. You are all an integral part of our public education system. I'm so happy that we're taking this opportunity, acknowledging your hard work and your dedication. I'm grateful to have you as part of our Montebello Unified School family. God bless you. Thank you and congratulations.
Go ahead, Board Member Magaña.
Thank you, Madam President. I also wanted to take the time to acknowledge and thank all of our teachers and to congratulate those that have been awarded. Thank you so much for your hard work and dedication to our students. Your profession truly is a selfless profession, and you do so much and you give so much. So thank you for your hard work. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. On that note, I would like to also let you all know that yesterday we got together with the Executive Cabinet, our CSEA President Rivera, our MTA President Navar, Mr. Navar, and others, just to celebrate our MUSD Teacher of the Year and our Classified Employee of the Year. We went to surprise them with certificates and flowers, and it was just a beautiful moment to celebrate their dedication and their commitment to our students. So thank you so much. Anyone else have any comments? Or I see Anna, you have a question or comment? Okay, we'll move on to item number 6, school service organizations discussion. Dr. Yuen, do we have any school service organization reports?
I didn't get any pre-email, but I think we do have somebody on our panel from HSPC. So I'll just go down the list just to make sure. So HSPC, Ms. Irma Avalos.
Hi, yes, good evening. Unfortunately, I'm going to need to table it because I don't have access to the report as I thought I did. So I'll go ahead and make the report at the next month, and I'll cover the previous 2 months. My apologies for that.
Thank you for the update. Next is MCPTA, Mr. Hector Hernandez. Okay, moving on. Next is PAC, Ms. Amanda Franco. All right, and then last is DLAC, Ms. Martha Cabral. Okay, again, we didn't receive any pre-written, so that concludes our school service organizations.
Thank you, Dr. Yuen. We'll move on to item number 7, employee organizations. Do we have any employee organizations reports, Dr. Yuen?
Yes, I'll go down the list. MUSD POA reported that they didn't have any reports. AMSA, Ms. Kennedy. Oh no, Ms. Dr. Gallardo.
Good evening, Board President, Ms. Gutierrez, board members, Superintendent Dr. Scavarna, Executive Cabinet, community members, and colleagues. On behalf of the administrators, managers, the supervisors, the directors of the confidential employees, AMSA would like to congratulate all the mothers in our district as we celebrate Mother's Day this weekend. Many blessings to each and every one of you for all your support and dedication in the teaching and learning of our students. AMSA would also like to thank Superintendent Dr. Scavarna and the board for their support on the AB 1200 filing. AMSA members are extremely grateful for all the consideration and provide us. In addition, AMSA would like to congratulate the class of 2022 that is graduating pretty soon. Adult education will be the first school that graduates students on Friday, May 27th at the ATC. And we are looking forward, as every school is, in the celebration of the class of 2022. At the next board meeting, I would like to share that I will be introducing the incoming AMSA president for the years 2022, 2024. Thank you. Have a great evening. Are there any questions?
All right, moving on, we have MTA, Mr. David Navarre.
Good evening, everyone. As a teacher, I love the beginning of the year and I love the end of the year when we get to celebrate all of our accomplishments, students and teachers and staff. So congratulations to all the employees who are recognized tonight. Congratulations to Sylvia Cobian. I am especially pleased to congratulate MUSD's Teacher of the Year, Berta Quiroz, whom I have known since high school. We graduated high school, Garfield High School, in 1992. I'm sorry I dated you, Berta. I, just like anyone else who has ever entered Berta's classroom or seen her teach, knows that teaching is her calling. Teaching is what she was born to do. She is creative, but detailed, passionate, but, and I cannot put a fine point on this, organized. She is very organized. Berta has all the many discrete skills necessary to be a teacher. She is so great at what she does that she makes it look easy. Berta is the consummate professional, the consummate teacher. Felicidades, Berta. Board members, if you have not yet already, you should expect many phone calls and emails regarding an overpayment of last year's summer school. In the context of missing payments and late, and sometimes very late payments for additional assignments, this mistake is especially frustrating for members. I want to express my appreciation to the people in payroll who now have a lot more work to do, having to process the repayment and field all the calls and emails from confused and frustrated teachers. Even though this was not their fault, they will bear the brunt of this unfortunate mistake. This is a very costly mistake. It is costly, not just in terms of additional work, but in terms of trust and faith in the district. Finally, this board made a commitment to lower class size and caseloads this school year. We will begin bargaining a class size MOU for next year on May 27th and June 6th. We do hope this board continues to support and commit to lower class size and caseloads, and that these negotiations are concluded sooner rather than later. Educators like Berta Quiroz love to plan and very far ahead. It is difficult to plan when these matters are not decided. Starting next year off right begins today. We need to know things like staffing, grade level, and classroom assignments. Supplies need to be ordered. Please continue your support and commitment to lower class size and caseloads so that our students have greater access to our teachers and educators and access to a just and safe education. That concludes my report. Thank you very much and have a great evening, everyone.
All right, thank you. And then finally, we have CSEA, Ms. Marisol Rivera.
Give me a second. Here we go. Thank you. Good evening, Madam President Gutierrez, members of the board, and Dr. Scarana and cabinet. I have to say this has been an exciting moment, the month of May and month of April, because we've celebrated so many hardworking classified members. We celebrated our school bus drivers on April 26th, which was National Bus Day, which is an honor, and I continue to say, because they service our students with a smile and continue to do the work. So it's very appreciative to have a day for them. Not only that, but also we've celebrated, our administrative clerks, our secretaries. It's awesome to see them be celebrated at the school sites and also at the departments. It's appreciative, it's exciting. And I have to say this month of May, of course, is exciting for everybody because we celebrate our teachers, which is, servicing our students. We celebrate our labor force, which is CSEA Week. And which more can I say that it was great to see all those names, both teachers and classified. It's amazing. And I really have to say thank you that we united yesterday to go and and surprise our winners, really, because nobody knew. And I think that was the excitement, to see both units together, working together, celebrating a celebration, and to see our classified employee, Sylvia Cobian, amazing at Vail High School, our school records. I know Sylvia for a long time, and she's always dedicated herself to the students and has always put herself in a place that she's there for them. They're able to come in. But I have to give kudos to all cabinet members that were there, Ms. Gutierrez, Mr. Navarre, and my officers. Amazing. I am just excited, as you can tell my voice, because we're working together, we're communicating together, and I see progress. I see movement. And this is, I don't consider at the end, I consider that we're moving positive. Thank you.
All right, that concludes our employee organizations reports.
Thank you to our employee organizations, and thank you, Dr. Yuen. Up next, we'll move on to item number 8, Los Angeles County Office of Education, and I would like to call on Ms. Francie Heim.
Good evening. I have no comments this evening, so thank you.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. Up next, we'll move on to item number 9, public comment. Legal counsel, do we have any written public?
President Gutierrez, we have no written public comment tonight. Dr. Yuen, do we have any public comment in real time?
Yes, I do have some pre-called, so I can start down the list. First is Bill Whitmore calling about the Friends of Montebello Unified School District Foundation. All right, Mr. Whitmore, you have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, members of the Board of Education, and good evening, Mr. Superintendent and members of the Superintendent's Cabinet, and of course, members of the district community. My name is Bill Whitmore, and I'm the president of the Friends of the Montebello Unified School District Foundation. I'd like to take just a few minutes and provide you with a summary of foundation activities, and I'll be referring to a 2-page handout that I know that you were sent earlier today. The foundation was founded in 2012 as a 501c3 nonprofit organization. The mission of the foundation is to support the efforts of the Montebello Unified School District and their activities and academic endeavors by engaging the community to pursue resources that will support excellence in education for all students. The vision of the foundation is to ensure that each student in the Montebello Unified School District is given the opportunity to receive an excellent education that will lead to becoming a productive and valuable member of society. The foundation works independently from the MUSD Board of Education and is governed by now a 17-member Board of Directors, and you'll notice the names of the Board of Directors on your handout. Our website is friendsofmusd.org, and in the past years, we're proud to say that we've been able to provide over $42,000 annually in scholarships to deserving MUSD high school seniors. In addition to that, we've provided approximately $30,000 in annual support of different district instructional programs, and you'll see the list of programs on your handout. Our annual fundraising event, the Service Education Awards program, is scheduled this year for Sunday, October the 23rd at 4 p.m. It'll be once again a virtual event, and information about the event will be posted very soon on our foundation website. An application for funding is also provided on the foundation website. We've had a number of applications submitted recently from various schools, teachers, parents, students, counselors, and administrators have submitted applications for funding. Our email address is fmusdfoundation@gmail.com, and if you'd like to make contact with any of the foundation board members, please go to our foundation website. You'll see their picture, their biography, and their email address. This concludes my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, next we have Monica Torrey calling about support of the Family Wellness Program. Okay, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, members of the board, executive cabinet, and superintendent. My name is Monica Torrey, and I am a proud school psychologist of Rosewood Park School. I am making this presentation on behalf of the elementary school psychologist. For those who don't know what the Family Wellness Program is, let me tell you a little bit about it. Federal funds were provided to districts to support social emotional needs of children after the COVID-19 pandemic. We are very thankful that the board adopted the Family Wellness Program and implemented the program at the elementary level, having on-site licensed marriage and family counselors to provide counseling and mental health support to children and families of MUSD unable to access such support or placed on long waiting lists. Unlike intermediate and high school levels, where there are counselors, assistant principals, resource officers, in addition to school psychologists, at the elementary level, the school psychologist serves as the sole interventionist for the needs, for the mental health needs of all students, special education and general education. So implementing the wellness program at the elementary level has been invaluable. This has allowed us as elementary school psychologists to better meet our federally mandated legal special education IEP duties that have steadfast deadlines that must be met on a timely manner. The family wellness therapists have been critical in supporting the schools, the elementary schools, with urgently needed general education behavioral interventions, crisis interventions, suicide and threat assessments, and much needed student and staff presentations and workshops. The ramifications of COVID-19 will continue to affect our students both academically and social emotionally for many years to come. These needs will be felt by the students, their families, and our community. Because of this, we believe the Family Wellness Program is crucial for the elementary level schools, and we would like to request that this program continue indefinitely in order to support the present and future needs of these young students and their families. And what I want to do now is briefly present some data that has been provided to board members and Dr. Garland regarding the cases that are being served in general education at the elementary sites. This is just a brief presentation. I'm not discussing closed cases or pending cases. So at Cesar Chavez Elementary, there are 36 ongoing counseling cases. At Montebello Park Elementary, there are 31 open counseling cases. Bell Gardens Elementary, 22 open counseling cases. Washington Elementary, 17 open counseling cases.
All right, thank you. That's 3 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, next we have Erica Estrada calling about Joseph Gascon Elementary School. Okay. All right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, board members and Montebello Unified staff. Erica Estrada, teacher at Joseph Gascon Elementary. I've been there for 23 years. So I just wanted to share a clarification about last board meeting comments that stated that the board or district is working with Gascon to try to resolve the co-location of KIPP at our school. And I just wanted to clarify, me being there full time as a teacher, it has not happened. There was a visit by some, officials. I just found out because I was not aware as a rep council that there was visitors coming. So I was a little disappointed and sad that I wasn't involved in any type of, message. Hey, we're going to your school. We want to troubleshoot. There was two ideas. There's some rental. Sacred Heart is offering some rental property right there on Garfield and Hay Street. There's empty buildings at the community day school at Eastmont Intermediate with their own parking and their own buildings. So there's so many options out there, and I'm just wondering, and I'm asking you, board and Montebello Unified, why haven't those options been available? We're going to have 100 more kids. They're already painting the doors and getting those rooms ready for next year, and yet our students are continuing to be left, in second place. And so we're not giving up. We're going to continue fighting, and if there's parents listening, please continue to advocate for your students at Gascon, for Montebello Unified in general. Public schools are getting attacked right now, statewide, I think, nationwide. And so we need to kind of understand that and take note and lock arms with other organizations in our community. And I ask that you continue to, we are out on our own. We feel left abandoned at Gascon. And you can ask any teacher or any parent there, and that's how we feel. So we would like to, we ask you that you take some time to have a meeting with us. To this day, it has not happened. That you look into problem solving, it still hasn't happened. Connect with us, still hasn't happened. And I just wanted to report that to clarify. There hasn't really been a reach. We have not been reached since last board meeting. So that's what I wanted to say. And I hope that it will continue, because Maple, of course, we need to address the fact that they continue to approve these schools when we are already at low enrollment. We are already, in a really critical situation. And so we need to reevaluate how we are dealing with these schools and put our students first. Thank you.
All right, next we have Anna Palomera calling about special education response. Okay, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, board, school board members, executive cabinet, and superintendent. My name is Anna Palomera. I am a parent for a special needs education teenager. And I just want to inform you of the poor response that special education community has received. I personally myself have called the special education department. I have written a letter to the board. I have written a letter to the board and the superintendent, and I have yet to receive a call, a response in writing. And to me, I feel I'm being dismissed, not only myself, but the special needs community. Okay. And I also want to inform you, we are listening to all of the meetings. We are viewing all of the meetings. And we have a very big community out there. And I'd like for you to take that into consideration, because come re-election, we will be deciding who is re-elected. And I feel that we are just not being listened to. We're being dismissed. And I'd like for someone to actually contact me and give me that common courtesy. And that's how I feel. Okay? And that is all I have to say.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Marina Martinez-Smith calling about timely pay and lunch for students.
Thank you. Good evening, President Gutierrez, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Scavarna, Dr. Ewan, members of the Executive Cabinet, and audience members. Hope that you and those you love are healthy and safe. As we rapidly approach the end of the school year and reflect, I'm happy with the progress we have achieved since the beginning of the school year in August. Thank you, everyone in the Montebello Unified School District community, for listening, your support, and your dedication to our children. Thank you. Hopefully, we will continue to improve through the summer and begin the 2022-2023 school year strong and prepared. Congratulations to all the employees of the year, classified and certificated. Congratulations, Kenny Cito and Jay Valencia. Thank you for your hard work and dedication to Schurr High School and our students. Mr. Cito, your dedication to Renaissance Pathways and the culture you create with our students and teachers on our campus is magical. You are our Spartan wizard. Mr. Valencia, your dedication as CSO is apparent in your commitment on campus and wrestling team. Thank you both for your hard work. I wish I could continue in this positive momentum. However, I have to share that teachers on our campus have just recently received compensation for working 1/6 since the beginning of the school year or in November. Other teachers are receiving notification of overpayment. These are expensive mistakes. Teachers deserve timely and consistent pay. No one works to receive compensation whenever. Please establish a timeline for payment so teachers can plan their life. When payment for these services come in larger sums, taxes increase as well. The cost of living is increasing in California, and for those of us willing to commit our time to meet the changes post-pandemic, timely and consistent pay should be included as one of the improvements in our district. Recently, my students have been complaining about the meal services at our school. Can we please revisit the breakfast and lunch menus for students? At one time, at Schurr, we had beef and chicken burgers grilled on campus. The smell was delicious for students to smell as they went out to lunch. When can we return to this? Thank you so much for your time, your patience, and your commitment. Good night.
All right, next we have Rafael Gutierrez calling about high school sports facilities. All right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Dr. Ewan. Good evening, Madam Gutierrez, President Gutierrez, Vice President Ramirez, board members, Executive Cabinet, Superintendent, and the MUSD community. My name is Rafael Gutierrez. I'm a resident here in the city of Montebello, and more importantly, I'm the athletic director and serve the kids at Montebello High School and the coaches. The reason for the call today is just a little plea for help, or a plea for hopefully having a conversation of the future of our athletic facilities. Over the past couple of years, we've had some challenges at the high school, challenges at all three high schools really, where we've had to borrow each other's facilities. We go to Schurr High School to use their pool. Tomorrow, Schurr baseball and softball are coming to Montebello to have soft games. So we're doing a lot of bounce around from one school to the other. But just want to see if, is there any plans for our community to have some upgraded facilities? We've gone to other districts and other kids come back to me and are asking, hey, why don't we have that? Or what's the status of our pool? Or for example, our gym floor has been, had issues for years. There's a big termite issue. We have a restroom issue. We've had termites come out during games that we have to sweep up. And it's bad enough we have one gym. We're having a lot of issues there. with lockers are rusted out. They're need painted, replacement. Our biggest issue right now is our gym. Our lockers need an upgrade. They must be close to about 20-something years old. And I think our kids deserve at least to have a conversation, see where we're going in the future for our athletic facilities. I know when the bond came up in 2016, we were supposed to get a brand new softball field, and BG was supposed to get a baseball field. And here we are in 2022, where we'd like to at least know, where has our bond money gone to? Is it going to be used for our softball field? Will it be used for our gym? Will it be used for lockers? Will it be used for our pool? The board approved a pool for, I think, $6.5 million back in the summer, this past summer. And we've yet to get an update in the last 5 months. And every time a student comes up to me or coach with the status, I say, I keep emailing, and I'll give you an update. And it just seems we have yet to get an update regarding the status of the pool. So, we'd like to know if maybe we can have a little town hall meeting with parents and students and coaches to see what the future holds. I know we've gone to other school districts, and kids always come back saying, our coaches, hey, we'd like to have a gym like that, or we'd like to have a baseball field like that. But if we can hopefully plan something so that we can see where we're headed and see what's best for our students. And hopefully the conversation involves plenty of people, the stakeholders on the campus, so that we can decide what's our best need for our kids. Currently, I know sometimes projects get done, like the softball field for $3.1 million was approved, but I was never involved in that conversation. They wanted to give us a state-of-the-art softball field, but on the other end, on the other side of campus, we're looking at a gym that's just from the 1950s that has, restroom that needs repair, stands that need some upgrade, paint all over, lockers repaired. So we do it, the asphalt all over the P area.
All right, Mr. Gutierrez, your time is up.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you for your time.
Thank you.
And President. Okay, thank you.
And then we have Christine Dimas calling about returning to board chambers and charter schools. She's not picking up. She did forewarn me that she may not get to her phone in time. So we can go to the live hand raises and then come back to her at the end. So I do see 2 hand raises. So Mr. Chen, can you please unmute Veronica Viramontes?
Veronica, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Again, I'm here to speak against KIPP co-locating in Gascon Elementary. I did hear the comments of last board's meeting that a couple of board members had visited, officials, not just board members, had visited Gascon Elementary. But it was very disappointing to know that they didn't reach out to key people that have been speaking out, that have been asking for meetings. It was also very disappointing to know that nobody has contacted me in whatsoever, or any other parents, to have a meeting on how this is affecting our kids at Gascon Elementary. My understanding is there's empty rooms at Eastmont Intermediate, where the adult school used to be, where KIPP can go locate over there and wouldn't be infringing or overpopulating a school. Because right now, Gascon Elementary has, if I'm not wrong, it has about 600 students attending, and you're gonna add 200 students. You think coronavirus is over, but it's not. It's coming back. I hear all these reports of how it's contracting more and more. So you're gonna overpopulate a school of 600 students to become 800. And I don't understand why. would we even have this discussion if if we were not in a populated area where most parents are too afraid to speak up because of undocumentation, or because they don't speak the language and don't know how to raise their points of this. There is other options. There is a building across the street from Sacred Heart of Mary that is being rented, that KIPP can go there. There is Laguna Nueva. I haven't seen any options or any other things where we can resolve this in a matter where Gascon is not being affected, where my daughters are not being affected, because they are directly affected, being that they attend there. And I'm very disappointed that no one's reached out to the parents at Gascon, myself in particular, to have a meeting to discuss all these issues and all the concerns we have. And being brushed off to LACO by Dr. Ewan, that's not a solution. Being talked to tell me, well, yeah, Gascon used to hold 1,000 students. Yeah, that was pre-pandemic. And that was pre-building the buildings in the back. And that was pre a lot of stuff. The cafeteria cannot hold, but only one grade level at a time. So you're talking about putting 800 students in this school that's already has 600 kids that can barely do one grade level at a time in the cafeteria. I would really appreciate somebody reaching out to me. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Chen, I see Deborah Ferguson with her hand raised. Please unmute her.
Deborah,
Good evening. Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Scavarna, board members, executive cabinet, and Montebello community. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Monica Maynard and Dr. Walker for the fantastic science fair yesterday at ATC. It was so much fun to run into teachers that are like, wow, you have a real face. It was just amazing. And I know it was a tremendous amount of work. So thank you, Monica and Dr. Walker, and of course, all the staff that you had behind you to help you with that. On the other side of the coin, I did want to express concern that now that we are thankfully able to open some things up and let our students actually live a semi-normal life. And so there are some field trips that have been made available. And I have a colleague who was kind enough to do all that legwork. If you know, taking a group of students on a field trip is a lot of work. We should not have to use a sick day or a personal necessity day to escort our students on a field trip. That should be something that is covered with a substitute or however it needs to be covered, but we should not have to use a personal day for that. Thank you for all you guys have done all year to support us. We appreciate it and hope everybody has a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I'm going to try Christine Demas one more time.
Thanks.
All right, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, President Gutierrez and board members and Dr. Scrivana and executive cabinet. 2 things. The first thing is we need to really get back to meeting in chambers. If you're requiring the teachers and the students to go back into the classrooms, I think it's time. And your protocol works great. So in helping with getting back to chambers, that would be great. Second thing is that there still hasn't been a response in regards to a request in putting together a little task force with regards to, charter schools. And so my request is the same.
And maybe task force is too aggressive of a name, but if anything, it should be nonpartisan so that we can understand the process of charter schools from soup to nuts. And that means what the district leadership does after a school accepts the co-location of a certain school. So we need to know what's going on behind the scenes as well. So I hope that you'll consider a task force or a committee, whatever you want to call it. I appreciate your time. Have a good evening, and I look forward to getting back to the board chambers. Bye.
Thank you. All right, that concludes the call-in, and also there's no hand raise or other phone calls coming in.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yuen, and thank you for everyone who called this evening. At this time, I would like to move on to item number 10, discussion action items. We are going to consider item number 10A, resolution number 31, 2021-2022, California Day of the Teacher, May 11, 2022. At this time, I would like to call on Ms. Hakopian.
Thank you, President Gutierrez. It's my pleasure to bring resolution number 31, 2021-22, honoring and recognizing California Day of the Teacher, May 11, 2022, for board approval tonight. MUSD teachers demonstrate dedication and passion, playing such an important role in shaping our children's education and future. Please join me in this recognition.
At this point, I will be reading the resolution this evening. So California teachers at the heart of communities, powering our future. Whereas the California legislature has created the Day of the Teacher to honor teachers and the teaching profession. And whereas Education Code Section 37222 has established the second Wednesday of each May as the Day of the Teacher, this year's annual observance thus being May 11, 2022. And whereas providing quality education to our young people continues to be our greatest challenge in education, as well as our most vital responsibility. And whereas we rely largely on school teachers to ensure proper instruction in a wide variety of subjects. Whereas in addition to teaching academics, teachers provide guidance, support, and encouragement to their students. Whereas many times it is in the interest and attention of a favorite teacher that steers a student into a career field. Whereas the Board of Education is extremely proud of the many exemplary teachers who serve the students of the Montebello Unified School District. And whereas it is appropriate that the Board of Education recognize teachers in the Montebello Unified School District and express our gratitude for the care and concern that you have for our students. Now, therefore, be it resolved that schools in the Montebello Unified School District set aside May 11, 2022, to honor and recognize the outstanding contributions teachers have made to our communities and encourage all citizens to participate in the observance that expresses their appreciation. Congratulations.
Thank you, Board Member Diva, for reading resolution number 31. I would like to move to approve resolution number 31. Is there a second?
Good. I actually have a few words, if that's okay, before we move to approve.
We can move to approve the resolution, and then we're gonna call on to Mr. Navarre, and then we can say our comments. Is that okay? We can wait on our comments. I heard a second. Who was the second? I'm sorry.
It was me.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Clerk Cabrera. Let's do a roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez.
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera.
Aye.
Board Member Magaña. Aye. Board Member Uribe.
Aye.
And an aye for me as well. Go ahead, Board Member Uribe.
Mr. Navarre, and to all of our teachers, I just want to take a moment to formally thank all of our teachers in the Montebello Unified School District. As an educator myself, I realize that you, our teachers, play a vital role in the lives of our children. To that point, all teachers play a critical role in guiding and inspiring our students across the nation. I personally remember several MUSD teachers throughout my academic career that helped me navigate through different journeys in my life, and they all had a major impact on me. And today we get the opportunity to recognize our amazing teachers and say thank you. Thank you for all that you do for our students, our families, and our communities. This year's theme of California Teachers at the Heart of Communities, Powering Our Future is very fitting. Our teachers help to mold young minds and encourage our students to challenge themselves daily, inspiring them to go after their dreams. I know it's a job that requires a lot of patience, understanding, and a lifetime of dedication. I came across a quote that I wanted to share that reads, "Teachers encourage minds to think, hands to create, and hearts to love." I want to thank you for your continued dedication and service to our students. From the bottom of my heart, I want to express my sincerest appreciation. God bless you and thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any other colleagues that would like to say a few words? I just want to thank all the teachers for all your hard work that you have done and all your educating career. Thank you so much. As a MUSD alumni, I have so many teachers I have to thank for who I am today, for reaching my goals, for reaching my full potential. There's so many teachers that I always think about because they molded me, just like board member Uribe mentioned. They helped me grow. They helped me become who I am, like I mentioned. And teachers are true heroes for every student. Just acknowledging how we had the MUSD Teacher of the Year. One of the little students mentioned to me, she was so thrilled to have her teacher be nominated and selected as Teacher of the Year. And the reason why was because she has mentioned that her teacher just makes a positive impact in her day and that she just makes her smile. So it's teachers like that that make a positive impact in our students' lives and are excited to go to school because they see their favorite teachers. So thank you so much to all our teachers in MUSD for all your commitment, for all your dedication, all your passion in educating our students. At this time, I would like to call on Mr. David Navarre to accept our resolution.
Thank you, Board President Gutierrez. It is my pleasure and privilege to accept this resolution on behalf of all teachers. We acknowledge and appreciate the support of the board and cabinet and everyone at MUSD. We celebrated classified and teachers, our certificated employees today. It is Day of the Teacher. I think in the last few years, teachers have really just shown how they are the heart of the community. When we get into the pandemic, we had to pivot and completely revolutionize what we were doing, and we were in the heart of the community. We were in their homes, literally, and they were in our homes. We were the heart of the community. And then coming back from this pandemic, we were in our teachers. Our educators were the front lines, teaching our students in a vastly different way. We've had to change and we've had to adapt, and that's what teachers do. But teachers dream and educators dream, and they always want the best for our students. And we continue to do that every day. We want to get a little better. So it is powering our future. We're thinking of the future and how are we going to get better? How are we going to better serve our students? That's what we're thinking about today. Community schools is one part of that. We all acknowledge that we need to be partners in this with every stakeholder. I appreciate the support and this resolution. And on behalf of our educators, I thank you, and we will continue to power our future. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Navarre. We'll go ahead and move on to our next resolution. We're going to consider item number 10B, resolution number 32, 2021-2022, Classified School Employee Week, May 15th through the 21st of 2021. I would like to call on Ms. Hakobian.
Thank you, Board President Gutierrez. It's an honor to bring resolution number 32, 21-22, honoring and recognizing Classified School Employee Week, May 15th through 21st for board approval tonight. Our classified employees work tirelessly with students, educators, parents, and community members and support the safety and smooth operation of schools, healthy nutrition, and direct instruction of students. Please join me in this recognition and reading the resolution.
Thank you, Ms. Akopian. I would like to call on Vice President Ramirez to read resolution number 32.
Good evening, everybody. I have the honor of reading the resolution tonight for the Classified School Employee Week. Whereas the efforts of classified personnel in the Montebello Unified School District are essential and critical to the successful functioning of the district and programs, and whereas classified school employees contribute to the establishment and promotion of a positive instructional environment and play a vital role in providing for the welfare and safety of Montebello Unified School District students, and whereas Montebello Unified School District classified personnel assist in the support of all educational programs and services at both schools and the central office, and whereas classified employees are indispensable in providing high-quality business, data processing, maintenance, and educational-related programs and services, and whereas classified employees in the Montebello Unified School District are deserving of special recognition for their many contributions in a wide variety of roles to the institution of public education in this country, state, and nation. Now, therefore, it be it resolved that the Board of Education and the Montebello School District joins with the California School Employees Association in proclaiming the week of May 15th to the 21st, 2022 to be Classified School Employee Week. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education urges all schools and certificated personnel throughout this district to recognize classified employees during this week as partners in education and to applaud their hard work and dedication to the success of public education, adopted by the Governing Board of the Montebello Unified School District on this 4th day of May, 2022.
Thank you, Vice President Ramirez. At this time, is there a motion to approve resolution number 32?
So moved.
Second.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's do a roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez,
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera,
Aye.
Board Member Magaña,
Aye.
Board Member Uribe,
Aye.
and an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. Do any of my colleagues have any comments? Few words. Board Member Uribe, I see you. Go ahead.
Thank you. I want to formally thank all of our classified employees this evening in Montebello Unified School District. Every day, our classified employees build connections and inspire the lives of many of our students. Our classified employees are an integral part of our public education system. Our classified employees make a difference in the daily lives of our students, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being the backbone in every one of our schools, in every one of our facilities. Thank you for all that you do. You are role models, your mentors, your friends, your role models. I mean, you do so much for our students. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and may God bless you tremendously.
Thank you, Board Member Uribe. Anyone else? I see Board Member Magaña. Do you have a few words? Go ahead.
I do. Thank you so much, Madam President. You know, to our CSCA staff, just thank you so much. You're also educators. I think every day, teachers and educators such as yourselves have a different type of bonding relationship with our students. I think that all these relationships are special and necessary, and they do teach so many of our students so many different lessons from different perspectives. I know for myself, during my time at school, I had so many great security guards and the cafeteria ladies, and I'll never forget about them because they were always so supportive. And I had a different connection to them that I did from my teachers, right? Both great relationships, but nonetheless different. And they were so helpful and caring and dedicated. Thank you for what you do. There's so many of you that have been here for so long, and I can only imagine all the different types of impacts that you've had on all these different students and just how you've helped mold them. So thank you. Thank you for your hard work and your dedication.
I would like to echo the words of my colleagues. I want to thank the CSCA staff for everything that you all do, for being the forefront of talking to parents and even creating like a safe space for students to go to, whether it's a security, whether it's a lunch staff, whether it's secretarial, whether it's anyone. I know that so many have come in and created that safe space for so many students to just do check-ins like, how are you doing, mijo or mija? I know that's happening a lot in our campuses. So that is really appreciated that our classified is doing above and beyond and being the backbone of our schools. So from bringing our students to and from school safely. The list goes on. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, classified employees, for all your hard work and dedication to our schools and our community and our students. Any other colleagues have any few words to say before I pass it on to Ms. Rivera to accept this resolution? Okay, hearing none, President Rivera, it's my honor to present this resolution to you. Go ahead.
Thank you. On behalf of all classified employees, we accept this. As you see the background that I have, that's our CSA Week banner. We bring it every day. And during COVID time, like Mr. Navarre has said, all classified has rolled up their sleeves to take care of business. And I just want to say on behalf of all classified employees, every single one member has done above and beyond. And we appreciate this resolution. And as we continue to service our primary goal, which is our students at all times. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, President Rivera. At this time, we are going to move on to approval resolution number 33, National School Nurse Day. I would like to call on Dr. Garland.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Scarvana, cabinet members in our community. It's my pleasure to bring resolution number 33, National School Nurse Day, to the board for approval this evening. Our nurses are simply amazing, especially during this year of the continuous and ever-changing COVID-19 virus. School nurses play a crucial role in keeping schools open for in-person learning during the COVID-19 pandemic while protecting the health and safety of students and staff. School nurses are providing school health services for students, evaluating students for COVID-19 symptoms and exposure routinely, educating staff, students, parents, and community partners on COVID-19 prevention strategies. We're so grateful for our school nurses and love to honor them tonight.
Thank you so much, Dr. Garland. At this time, I would like to call on Board Member Magaña to read tonight's resolution.
Thank you, Madam President. And thank you for the honor. School nurses have really been just in the front lines. They are our heroes. Thank you so much. I mean, you've sacrificed tremendously during this pandemic, and I can only imagine the risks and the fears that you've had to deal with, feeling that you may be exposed, and then having that challenge of wondering whether you're bringing that home or not. And, I have the utmost respect for you and admiration. And I also have the best memories when I had a little stomach ache when I was a little one, and I saw the nurse. It was the best feeling in the world. I automatically was already feeling a little better because I knew that they were going to help. So it is truly an honor. So here we go. So 2022 theme, school nurses, bridging healthcare and education, whereas students are the future, and by investing in them today, we are ensuring our world for tomorrow. And whereas families deserve to feel confident that their children will be cared for when they are at school, and whereas all students have a right to have their physical and mental health needs safely met while in the school setting, and whereas students today face more complex and life-threatening health problems requiring care in school, and whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has emphasized the essential role school nurses play in students' health and academic success, and whereas school nurses have served a critical role in improving public health and in ensuring students' academic success for more than 100 years, and whereas school nurses address the home and community factors, example, social determinants that impact students' health, and whereas school nurses act as a liaison to the school community, families, and healthcare providers on behalf of children's health by promoting wellness and improving health outcomes for our nation's children. And whereas school nurses support the health and educational success of children and youth by providing access to care when children's cognitive development is at its peak. And whereas school nurses are members of school-based teams, example, school health services, 504/IEP, disasters emergency plannings to address the school's population, and whereas school nurses understand the link between health and learning and are in a position to make a positive difference for children every day. Therefore, be it resolved that the National Association of School Nurses celebrates and acknowledges the accomplishment of school nurses everywhere and their efforts of meeting the needs of today's students by improving the delivery of healthcare in our schools, and offers gratitude to the nation's school nurses who contribute to our local communities by helping students stay healthy in school and ready to learn, and keeping parents and guardians at work, not just on this National School Nurse Day, but at every opportunity throughout the year. Now therefore be it future resolved that the Board of Education of the Montebello Unified School District declares Wednesday, May 11, 2022 as School Nurse Day, and commends its observance to all MUSD community members. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Magaña. At this time, is there a motion to approve resolution number 33?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez.
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera.
Aye.
Board Member Magaña.
Aye.
Board Member Uribe.
Aye.
And an aye for me as well. The motion is carried. Are there any comments from my colleagues? Go ahead, Board Member Uribe.
Yes, I just want to take a moment just to thank and acknowledge, similar to what some of the board members have said, you know, the vital role that school nurses do play in our schools, in our communities, for our families, whether it's providing screening or referrals, direct healthcare to our students, promoting healthy school environments, promoting health and safety through education about health practices. There's so many roles and so many hats that you wear. I just want to thank you for everything that you do, for being such an important part of our school district. As a mother, I thank you for what you do for my son daily. I know that you know him by name because he's always at the nurses saying hi. And just because he knows that she cares. And I think so many of our students know that our nurses care for them as people, and they're their friends, and they're there to make them feel better. So I just want to thank you, and also just take this opportunity to say that we do want to bring more nurses to our schools. Ultimately, the goal would be to have one nurse at every school. And I know this will take time. You know, obviously there's budget involved with that, but we acknowledge the importance of having a nurse at every school site. So that being the goal, I just want to thank you for all that you do and just celebrating you this month. And I hope that you celebrate yourself as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Uribe. Any other colleagues have any words? Okay, I just also want to echo my colleagues' words. Thank you so much to all the nurses and MUSD for providing that place for students to come to get care, and also for all the tremendous work that our nurses did, especially during COVID, where they have to come and support and create a logistic plan on providing COVID-19 safety protocols and implementing them, and even just supporting our students with different symptoms or different things that they need. So thank you so much to all our nurses in our campuses for even flexing yourself to different campuses if needed. So thank you so much for all your hard work. At this time, I would like to pass it on to Ms. Annette Rubalcaba to accept this resolution.
Good evening, Madam President Gutierrez, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Scavarna, Executive Cabinet, and audience members. I am honored to accept this resolution on behalf of MUSD's 16 school nurses. This recognition is especially meaningful this year as school nurses have dealt with constant changes and increased workloads brought on by the worldwide pandemic. As a critical members of our school support team, school nurses are the intersection of health and education and reduce barriers to learning by supporting the well-being of students throughout our schools. While the past year has been difficult, our school nurses have not wavered to keep our students, staff, and school community safe. We have a passionate and dedicated group of school nurses who continue to make a difference for our school community. The medical needs of our students and the need of additional school healthcare professionals continue to increase. We thank you for your continued advocacy and support of the hiring of school medical personnel this year and for the upcoming years. Thank you again for this recognition and continued support.
Thank you so much. At this time, we are going to move on to consideration of item 10D, resolution number 34, 2021-2022, Mental Health Awareness Month, May 2022. And I would like to call on Dr. Garland.
Thank you. Thank you again. Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Scarvana, my cabinet colleagues, and our community. It's my pleasure to bring resolution number 34, Mental Health Awareness Month, to the board for approval this evening. I want to take this time to recognize our incredible school counselors. Our school counselors play many roles, including social and emotional educators, academic advisors. They often mediate conflicts, they're wellness coaches, they're mental health therapists, they're champions for our students, educational collaborators, and family liaisons. They play so many roles and wear so many hats because safeguarding the mental, emotional, and physical welfare of students is the essence of what our school counselors do. These professionals have typically been at the center of the problem-solving process since the arrival of COVID-19. We are so grateful for our school counselors, and we love to honor them tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Garland. At this time, I would like to call on Clerk Cabrera to read a resolution number 34.
Good evening, everyone. It's my honor to be reading resolution number 34. Whereas May 2022 has been designated National Mental Health Awareness Month in the United States since 1949 by the Mental Health America organization, and whereas the recent outbreak of coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19, has disrupted all areas of our nation's health, medical, social, and economic functioning, causing strong emotions in adults and children across our nation, and increasing the effects of secondary traumatic stress reactions by vulnerable populations, particularly children with mental health concerns. And whereas the Montebello Unified School District recognizes that mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being. And whereas the Board of Education of the Montebello Unified School District endorses a focus on prevention and early intervention efforts that could greatly reduce the number of children experiencing serious mental health conditions. And whereas children, youth, and adults can recover from mental illness and lead full, productive lives at school and in the community. And whereas addressing the complex mental health needs of our children, youth, and families places upon our community and school is a critical responsibility. And whereas it is a desire and vision of the Board of Education to have students, employees, and families of the Montebello Unified School District share a belief that an appropriate time should be set apart each year for the direction of our thoughts, specifically toward our children's mental health and well-being. And whereas the Montebello Unified School District, through its unique approach to serving children and adolescents, is committed to caring for the mental health needs of children, youth, and families in our communities. And whereas the Montebello Unified School District reviews its pledge to continually assess and improve the range of educational services provided by our schools and the district's employed mental health professionals to meet the varying needs of our students with mental health concerns. And whereas the Montebello Unified School District fully acknowledges that educating our students with mental health concerns from toddlerhood through graduation requires commitment to meaningful collaboration with families, community members, and local healthcare professionals. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Montebello Unified School District declares that the district will dedicate agency and expertise to intentionally commit our educational community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, make aware the steps our children, youth, and adults can take to protect their mental health, acknowledge the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people, especially children and youth with mental health conditions, approve the designation of May 1st through the 31st, 2022 as Mental Health Awareness Month for this year, and all subsequent years in the future. Subscribe to in order to become part of the official minutes. Oh, I can stop there, but that is the resolution.
Thank you so much, Clerk Cabrera. At this time, I would like to have a motion to approve this item. So
Motion.
moved.
Second.
Perfect. Thank you. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez,
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera,
Aye.
Board Member Magaña,
Aye.
Board Member Uribe,
Aye.
and an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. Do I have any colleagues that would like to say a few words? Go ahead, Board Member Uribe.
Thank you. Raising mental health awareness is extremely important in order to break the mental health stigma that leaves so many people suffering in secret. Although the general perception of mental illness has improved over the past decades, studies still show that stigma against mental health illness is still very powerful. We must show those struggling with mental health conditions respect and acceptance. We must advocate for sources and programs, learn more about mental health. It has never been more important than now to recognize that mental health as an essential component to one's overall health and well-being. With that, I want to thank our school counselors. And one of the things that was mentioned during the resolution was being very intentional. And I just want to acknowledge the intentionality that you've had, your dedication, the empathy, the sympathy, just everything that you've done for our students during these very difficult times, helping them deal with the trauma, just helping them continue to move forward and continue to press forward. And you've been a vital role in that steps. And I know it's still work in progress, but just want to state that Montebello Unified is dedicated to continuing to support our students' social emotional well-being, and we will be very intentional. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Uribe. Any other colleagues? Go ahead.
President.
Yes, go ahead, Board Member Magaña.
I also would like to thank our counselors. Coming back from this pandemic has been quite difficult for so many parents, students, families. There's so much loss, so much hurt during these times. And counselors have been amazing, complete angels during this time. And I just thank you so much for your hard work and dedication to our students. I also want to acknowledge our president, our Madam President Gutierrez, who is also working as a counselor and is just finishing her work as a counselor, which I think is amazing. And some of the stories that she's shared, and I can see how much compassion she has and how much she cares, and she goes above and beyond to really help these students. And it's amazing to see that. So I've seen so many of our MUSD counselors who just are so invested. And I know that a lot of the times you take the work home, and I know you're making phone calls and you're following up, and there's just, thank you so much. I do hope that you all know, and I'm sure you do, that you are really impacting and creating the future leaders of this world. And thank you so much for your hard work.
Thank you, Board Member Magaña. I do want to echo those words as well. Currently, we're in a mental health crisis. Many students dealing with different mental health issues, and myself being in the forefront, just like Board Member Magaña, I've had the honor to work with many students and help them with their social emotional, improving their coping skills, talking to them, providing different resources, and just being a support system for them. Many have dealt with a lot of issues during COVID. A lot have lost loved ones. A lot of them have to come back, and just the new transition from online to in person, being around people have been like a culture shock for them to get used to. So many different issues that they're dealing with. So it's really important that we advocate and that we bring mental health awareness, not only to our students, but to our communities, to our parents, because a lot of our parents don't understand the different issues that students are dealing with or how to get help. Many students are even at the process of having suicide ideation, and just creating those risk assessments to provide to our students, to create a safety plan for our students, and to bring a safety place for our students to feel comfortable at home and in our schools. So with that, thank you so much to all our counselors, our MFTs, our psychologists, anyone in the counseling field providing mental health services to our students. Thank you so much for your services. Any other colleagues have any words? Okay, hearing none, I would like to pass it on to Ms. Nellie Bluestein. I apologize if I pronounced your last name incorrect, but I remember you used to go by Miss Blue, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes.
That's correct. Good evening, Madam President Gutierrez, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Scrivana, Executive Cabinet, and audience members. I am honored to accept this resolution on behalf of the Student Services team, not only at the district level, but on behalf of all our mental health professionals district-wide, including our counselors and school psychologists that support students with social emotional supports on a daily basis, and that support that Montebello Unified Community with much needed mental health resources. I am also incredibly proud to be part of a school district supporting policies and practices to promote awareness, early identification, and increase access to appropriate mental health resources. As you know, the COVID-19 pandemic has presented many social emotional challenges for our students. Children already coping with mental health conditions have been especially vulnerable to the changes as we continue to learn about the broad impact on our students. Just according to the CDC, 1 in 3 high school students experienced poor mental health during the pandemic. In addition, 44% of students experience persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness, and almost 20% seriously considered suicide. School-based mental health services are critical to help students access needed services, remove barriers, and guide conversations to include a trauma-informed, equitable, and compassionate lens to the delivery of services. Thank you very much for highlighting these efforts and continuing to bring mental health interventions to the forefront of your fiscal priorities. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. At this time, we are going to move on to item number E, resolution number 35, 2021-2022, authorizing electronic meetings of the Governing Board of Education during the state of emergency pursuant to Education Code Section 54953E. I would like to call on our legal counsel.
Thank you, President Gutierrez. Good evening, President Gutierrez and board members. The resolution before you for consideration would make the determination necessary to invoke AB 361 and would allow the governing board to meet electronically for the next 30 days. Accordingly, I recommend approval and ratification of the following motion: that the Board of Education approves resolution number 35, 2021 through 2022, authorizing electronic meetings of the Governing Board of Education during a state of emergency pursuant to Government Code Section 54953, subsection E. The resolution would make the determination necessary to invoke AB 361 and would allow the Governing Board to meet electronically for the next 30 days. In order to continue to meet electronically beyond that time, the board will need to reaffirm that the emergency continues to directly impact the ability of members to meet safely in person. And that is the motion.
Thank you so much, legal counsel. At this time, is there a motion to approve resolution number 35?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Perfect, thank you. Roll call vote, Vice President Ramirez.
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera.
Aye.
Board Member Magaña.
Aye.
Board Member Uribe.
I will be abstaining.
Okay, and an aye for me. That motion is carried. At this time, we're going to consider item 10F, second public notice, California School Employees Association, Chapter 505, initial sunshine proposal to Montebello Unified School District for 2021-2022 collective bargaining agreement negotiations. At this time, I declare the public hearing open. Ms. Hakopian, is there a staff report on this item?
Section 3457 of Article 8 of Chapter 10.7 of the California Government Code requires that all initial sunshine proposals of exclusive representatives shall be presented at a public meeting of the public school employers and therefore shall be public records. You may recall that the initial sunshine proposal from the California School Employees Association, Chapter 505 for collective bargaining agreement negotiations for the 21-22 fiscal year was presented to the public at the April 6, 2022 regular meeting of the Board of Education. After inviting and hearing public comment, if any, on this initial sunshine proposal, I recommend adoption of the following motion: that the Board of Education approves the attached as the California School Employees Association Chapter 505 Sunshine Proposal for collective bargaining agreement negotiations as proposed for the 21-22 fiscal year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hakopian. Are there any questions from the board? Okay, I hear no questions. Legal counsel, do we have any written public comment on this item?
No, we did not receive any written public comments. But Dr. Yuan, can you confirm if we have any comments telephonically or through real time on this topic?
No, we did not receive any.
If it's okay, if we can give just like a minute, just in case we do have any open public comment, if any individuals want to raise their hands, we'll just give it a minute just in case. Okay, I see no hands, so I would like to, this public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion to approve this item?
Motion?
Is there a second?
Second.
Let's do roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez?
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera?
Aye.
Board Member Magaña?
Aye.
Board Member Uribe?
Aye.
And an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. At this time, we're going to consider item 10G, public notice, proposed amendments from the Montebello Teachers Associations for the 2022-2023 negotiations. I would like to call on Ms. Hakopian.
Thank you. Section 3457 of Article 8 of Chapter 10.7 of the California Government Code requires that all initial contract proposals of exclusive representatives shall be presented at a public meeting of the public school employers and therefore shall be public records. Negotiations with the Montebello Teachers Association will not take place on any of the contract proposals until reasonable amount of time has elapsed after their submission to enable the public to become informed and to allow the public the opportunity to express itself regarding the contract proposals at a meeting of the public school employer. A representative of the Montebello Teachers Association herewith presents the board with the association's initial contract proposal for reopeners for the 22-23 negotiations. Specifically, Article 8, class size, facilities planning, Article 12, wages, and adding a new article on community schools. The following action is therefore appropriate. I recommend adoption of the following motion: that the Board of Education acknowledges receipt of the attached proposed amendments for the reopeners as proposed contract amendments for the 22-23 negotiations from MTA, specifically Article 8, Article 12, and the new article on community schools. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Hakopian. Is there a motion to acknowledge receipt of this item?
Motion?
Is there? Perfect. Thank you. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez?
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera?
Aye.
Board Member Magaña?
Aye.
Board Member Uribe?
Aye.
And I'm voting aye. That motion is carried. At this time, we're going to consider item 10H, public notice, Montebello Unified School District initial sunshine proposal to the Montebello Teacher Association, MTA, for openers and 2022-2023 contract negotiations. I would like to call on Ms. Hakopian.
Thank you, Board President Gutierrez. It is sunshine season, so we are having all of these sunshine. We're bringing these to you for approval. So 10H, Section 3457, again, of the Article 8 of Chapter 10.7 requires that all initial contract proposals of exclusive representatives shall be presented at a public meeting of the public school employers and therefore shall be public records. Am I saying I believe this 10J, correct? That we
10H.
10H. Okay, wonderful. Yes, thank you. So a representative of the Montebello Unified School District herewith presents the board with the district's initial sunshine proposal. So this one is the district's initial sunshine proposal for openers and 22-23 contract negotiations. Specifically, Article 4, hours and assignments, Article 8, class size, and Article 12, wages. The following action is therefore appropriate I recommend adoption of the following motion: that the Board of Education acknowledges receipt of the attached initial sunshine proposal to the Montebello Teachers Association for openers for 22-23 and 23 contract negotiations as proposed. Hours and assignments, class size, and wages. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hakopian. At this time, is there a motion to acknowledge receipt of this item?
Motion.
I heard two at the same time.
I'll second.
Perfect, thank you. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez?
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera?
Aye.
Board Member Magaña?
Aye.
Board Member Uribe?
Aye.
And an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. At this time, we are going to consider item 10I, bond audit reports by Christy White Associates, bond measure EE, M, and GS building funds for the year ended on June 30th of 2021. I would like to call on Mr. Allingson.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, members of the board, our superintendent, our cabinet, co-workers, and members of our community. Christy White Associates has completed the final audit reports for the Montebello Unified School District's measures EE, M, and GS bond building funds for the year ended June 30, 2021. The auditors provided two opinions for each measure, one over the financial statements and one over the performance audit. Both opinions for all measures were unmodified, which is the best opinion that can be issued. There were no findings over the financial statements or the performance audits. Great job to the finance and facilities team. Thank you so much. At June 30, 2021, the Measure GS bonds had approximately $44.4 million in available fund balance. The Measure M bonds had approximately $3.7 million in available fund balance. And the Measure EE bonds had approximately $1.2 million in available fund balance. For the year ended June 30, 2021, the district spent approximately $7.8 million of the Measure GS funds, approximately $4.5 million of the Measure M funds, and $1.3 million of the Measure EE funds. The auditors tested approximately $3.9 million, roughly 52% of total non-personnel Measure GS expenditures, approximately $2.4 million, roughly 55% of total non-personnel Measure M expenditures, and approximately $715,000, or roughly 55% of total non-personnel Measure EE expenditures, and concluded that all tested expenditures were in compliance with the terms of the applicable measures ballot, the district approved facilities plan, and applicable state and law regulations. The auditors reviewed employees charged to the Measure GS and Measure M programs and found no unallowable costs. No employees were charged to Measure EE. The audit tested contracts, bidding procedures, and change orders and found no instances of non-compliance. Tonight, I recommend that the Board of Education acknowledges receipt of the final audit reports by Christy White Associates on Measures EE, M, and GS bond building funds for the year ended June 30, 2021, as required by Education Code Section 41020.3.
Thank you, Mr. Ellingson. At this time, is there a motion to acknowledge receipt of this item?
Motion?
Is there a second?
Second.
Perfect. Thank you. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez,
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera,
Aye.
Board Member Magaña, Board Member Magaña,
Aye.
Board Member Uribe,
Aye.
and aye for me as well. That motion is carried. At this time, we're going to consider item 10J, approval memorandum of understanding between the Montebello Unified School District and the Montebello Teacher Association, Summer School 2022. I would like to call on Ms. Akopian.
Thank you. The Montebello Unified School District and Montebello Teachers Association met to negotiate the rate of pay at $60 per hour for bargaining unit members who work summer school in 2022. This memorandum of understanding is based on unique facts and circumstances and is not intended to be precedent setting and only applies to summer school 2022. I recommend adoption of the following motion that the Board of Education approve the attached memorandum of understanding between the Montebello Unified School District and MTA regarding the rate of pay at $60 per hour for bargaining unit members who work summer school in 2022 as presented. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Akopian. Is there a motion to approve this item?
Motion?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez,
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera,
Aye.
Board Member Magaña,
Aye.
Board Member Uribe,
Aye.
and I'm voting aye. That motion is carried. Are there any items to be pulled from the consent agenda for further discussion and or action? Okay, hearing none. Do I have a motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez,
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera,
Aye.
Board Member Magaña,
Aye.
Board Member Uribe,
Aye.
and an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. Okay, agenda item number 13. I would like to call on Ms. Akopian.
Thank you, President Gutierrez. This is the first reading of the approval of proposed new administrative regulations 4119.12, 4219.12, and 4319.12, Title IX Sexual Harassment Complaint Procedures. This item will be brought back at the next regular meeting for formal adoption by the Board of Education.
Thank you, Ms. Akopian. Is there a motion and a second to approve the first reading of the new administrative regulations 4119.12, 4219.12, and 4319.12?
Motion?
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. I heard Vice President Ramirez. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez,
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera,
Aye.
Board Member Magaña,
Aye.
Board Member Uribe,
Aye.
and an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. Next, we are looking at agenda number 14. I would like to call on Dr. Garland.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Scarvana, Cabinet, colleagues, and our community. This is the first reading of proposed revisions of Board Policy and Administrative Regulation 5145.7, Students' Sexual Harassment. This item will be brought back at the next regular meeting for formal adoption by the Board of Education.
Thank you, Dr. Garland. Is there a motion and a second to approve the first reading of Board Policy 5145.7 and Administrative Regulation 5145.7?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there perfect? Thank you. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez,
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera,
Aye.
Board Member Magaña,
Aye.
Board Member Uribe,
Aye.
and an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. We are looking at agenda item number 15. I would like to call on Ms. Akopian.
This is a first reading of proposed revision of Board Policy 4030, non-discrimination in employment. This item will be brought back at the next regular meeting for formal adoption by the Board of Education. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hakopian. Is there a motion and a second to approve the first reading of Board Policy 4030?
So moved.
Second. Thank you. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez.
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera.
Aye.
Board Member Magaña.
Aye.
Board Member Uribe.
Aye.
And an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. Okay, we are going to move on to agenda item number 16, Board of Education Member and Superintendent of Schools report. So I would like to start off with Clerk Cabrera.
Buenas noches, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well and not dealing with allergies as I am. I want to first start off by just saying gracias to the teachers, classified personnel, school nurses, and counselors that we were able to honor today, interact with. I really don't have the words to say how much we, the MUSD community, are grateful for everything that you do. It doesn't go unnoticed. I would also like for us to think about sharing with the community, during the next board meeting, what the plan is for in-person or virtual meetings, like how that looks. I know that those wonderings have come up, and so I think it would be important for us to address that and share the plan with them. So just planting that seed so that we can make sure we do that during the next meeting. Other than that, I hope everyone has a good rest of their night.
Thank you, Clerk Cabrera. Next, Board Member Magaña, do you have any reports?
Hi, thank you, Madam President. I also want to highlight again Ms. Berta Quiroz for being Teacher of the Year and all the teachers that were awarded. But thank you so much for your hard work and dedication to our students, for your sacrifice, for having that tremendous heart of wanting to give back to these students. Thank you for the positive impact that you're having on all of them. And Ms. Sylvia Covian from CSEA, I wanted to share really quickly that back when I was campaigning, I had the opportunity to door knock at Miss Sylvia's house, and she questioned me, and I could tell that she's very invested in this district, and she really cared, and she wasn't gonna let me have her vote easily. She talked to me, she asked me questions, she wanted to see where my heart was, and with that, she showed me how much her heart, her mind, and her dedication is invested in these students. And just thank you so much. I know that a lot of your colleagues speak very highly of you. You're very dedicated, and I know how much you care. So thank you and congratulations. Mr. Cito, I highly doubt that he remembers me, but Mr. Cito, I was part of the Renaissance program back when I was in high school, and he is amazing. He's extraordinary. He really goes above and beyond for our students. He's a very giving heart. So we're very lucky to have you. I was very lucky to be part of your group as a student. You had some positive impacts in my life. So thank you for that. We definitely are working on making sure that our staff, that our teachers gets timely and consistent pay. That is definitely something that we're looking into. We do believe that everyone should be paid in a timely manner. So we are working diligently on that. I know Cabinet is working on that. I know our superintendent takes that very seriously, and he's made it one of our priorities. So thank you. Thank you all for participating today.
Thank you, Board Member Uribe. Board Member Magaña. Board Member Uribe, do you have any board reports?
Good evening, everyone. I have 2 comments this evening. So first of all, I would like to advocate that we do have our board meetings back in person. It's important to have our stakeholders be able to physically see us, speak to us. And given the fact that we've been open, our schools have been open for almost a year, it is important to return back to some type of normalcy, and also just welcoming our stakeholders back. On another note, I would like to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day to all the lovely and loving moms. May God bless your daily life with joys of every kind and peace of heart and mind. And I know that's super important for moms. So God bless you. Enjoy the special weekend and have a great evening.
Thank you, Board Member Uribe. Vice President Ramirez, do you have any reports?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I want to first shout out all the teachers across the country and our district for all the hard work we're doing. I'm in the classroom every day with students, and I know that May is here and, countdown starts soon. Nobody's counting, but there's 37 days left. And so as we continue to wrap up AP exams, my students have 2 calculus and computer science coming up on Monday. As we continue to move forward and finish up the year and, start end of the year projects and, winding down, we do want to make sure that we express our appreciation for every one of you and the hard work that you're doing with our students. For our classified staff, thank you so much for everything you do. We know schools don't run without you. We know how important you are to our district and to our students. And while you may not be in the classroom every single day, we know that you make sure that the classroom is the focus for our teachers and our students while you take care of everything around it. So we appreciate everything you do. Nurses, thank you so much. You're very important every single day, but especially this year as we're coming back from a pandemic and we're still dealing with, the outcomes that we're currently in. You've become even more important, and I just appreciate all the work you've been doing for our staff, our students, and our district as a whole. Other than that, thank you so much for the time. Have a great evening. Drink lots of water. It's starting to get warm out. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Ramirez. And for my reports, I want to thank all the staff that put all their efforts into the science fair that we had yesterday at ATC. It was a great event. It was a full house at ATC. I want to congratulate all of our awardees for first place, second place, and third place with all our schools. Those projects were amazing. A lot of students had really great experiments, a lot of findings. So I just want to congratulate all our students who did a marvelous job on those projects and those experiments. I want to thank the principals for representing their schools as well. I saw many of them there. And then also, I want to also wish every beautiful mother a happy Mother's Day. And we also, if we celebrate our mothers up in heaven, may we continue to celebrate them and to spoil them on the US Mother's Day and the Mexican Mother's Day as well. I also want to address a public comment. I would, for Mr. Gutierrez, who brought up creating a conversation about the MHS facilities, if we can create something where we can give an update to our Montebello High School staff about the facilities and just have a conversation about what the process is on that and where we're at. Also, for Ms. Dimas, bringing up the task force for charter schools, I would like to have more information on what your ideas are and what we can do to create something like that and to advocate for our public schools. So I would love to connect with you. And then for a parent who called in about our SPED, Ms. Akopian will be calling with you and connecting you with you again, so that way you have Ms. Akopian. As we mentioned before, as board members, we cannot communicate on personal matters. So Ms. Akopian will get in contact with you. So I also want to congratulate all our seniors who have committed to our colleges. They had the SIR deadline on May 1st. I know Cal State LA is still accepting commitments until I believe the 9th. So if there's any seniors that didn't commit and want to go to Cal State LA, they still have an opportunity to commit. So I just want to congratulate all our seniors for deciding on a college that they want to go to. And just let's continue celebrating our classified employees of the year and also our teachers of the year and teacher week, teacher appreciation week. So thank you so much everyone for being here tonight. And I would like to pass it on to Dr. Scavarna if you have any report.
Thank you very much. To echo the board, the congratulations, Teacher of the Year, Classified of the Year, nurses, counselors, all of our employees, especially those folks, especially during COVID. I can't say enough about the audit report that has to deal with the bonds. Yes, we are putting together, and yes, we are working diligently to have the ability to sell bonds again as a district. You'll remember a few years ago that bond sale was stopped. We have to look in the past to realize that our future history in this is required one heck of a lot of work in cleanup. And I understand the frustration of the board. I understand the frustration of the staff. And I certainly understand the frustration of the parents in what I would consider lackluster performance on how these bond funds are being used. The board will have a chance in the future as we get ready to have the possibility of issuing a $100 million bond sale to prioritize things that have not been done for years. As we get through that, we will bring you more as time goes by. But once again, back in those days, we could not sell those bonds, and I was actually part of stopping it. So when I was a fiscal advisor, the district has made leaps and bounds to correct many, many things, but there are still much areas for improvement. You know, we turn the radio on or we turn the TV on, and everybody seems to want to blame somebody. Well, the truth of it is the past here is the past, and everybody can figure out how all this happened, and everybody has an idea, and everybody has a thought. There's no one to blame for all of this right now besides the leadership of the district, and that's me. So we are working every day diligently to get this squared away so that this district will become just as functional and just as active and far more proactive than most of our other districts. I will tell you that next year, we're putting together a lot of work with the cabinet of trying to do some things that we can provide to you that will be breathtaking changes for this district and this community for our parents. So we continue to work hard with our teachers. We continue to work hard with our classified. We continue to work hard with our management in a time in this world and in a time of this country through the COVID that none of us expected, and that has made things even worse. So we continue to dig ourselves out. We're getting better every day. I apologize to anybody for the little glitches in the road. We'll straighten everything out, and it's going to get better. We will have a remarkable year next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Scavarna. At this time, I would like to have a motion and a second to recess into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Perfect. Thank you. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez.
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera.
Aye.
Board Member Magaña.
Aye.
Board Member Uribe.
Aye.
And aye for me as well. That motion is carried. We'll recess into closed session. I believe we're waiting for Vice President Ramirez to reconvene the meeting. We'll go ahead and start. I would like to reconvene this meeting at 9:11 p.m. I would like to call this reconvening meeting to order. I would like to see who is present. Vice President Ramirez is not here yet. Clerk Cabrera.
Present.
Board Member Magaña.
Hi. I'm so sorry, present.
Board Member Uribe.
Present.
And I am present as well. Legal counsel, can you please provide a closed session report out?
Yes, thank you, President Gutierrez. We convened into closed session via video conference at 8:18 p.m. with closed session discussions commencing at 8:19 p.m. Present were President Gutierrez, Vice President Ramirez, Clerk Cabrera, Board Member Magaña, Board Member Uribe, myself, Dr. Scavarna, Dr. Yuen, Dr. Garland, Mr. Ellingson, and Ms. Hakopian. At 8:21, members of the Executive Cabinet exited, which were Mr. Ellingson, Ms. Hakopian, Dr. Yuen, and Dr. Garland. As to item A1 in the closed session agenda, members of the board were provided with a briefing and update by a 5-0 vote. Motion carried to approve the settlement and release agreement. As to item number 2, members of the board were provided with a briefing and an update. By unanimous consensus, direction was provided to legal counsel, including to provide settlement authority. As to items 3, 4, and 5, which were each discussed separately, members of the board were provided with a briefing and update. Workers' Appeal Board previously approved the order approving the settlement agreements in those 3 matters. As to item B, in the closed session agenda, item number 1, members of the board were provided with a briefing and an update on the matter. By 5-0 vote, a motion carried to approve a settlement agreement and release agreement between Leandra Soto and Montebello Unified School District. Nothing further to report on that matter. As to item number 2, a briefing and update was provided to members of the board. No reportable final action was taken. Nothing further to report on that matter. Closed session discussions concluded at 9:09 p.m. this evening, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, legal counsel. It is now 9:14 p.m. Can I have a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting?
So moved.
I heard everyone. Who was the first? I'm sorry. Can we start again?
I think.
Let's do it again. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion, second.
Okay, I heard Clerk Cabrera first and second Ramirez. Roll call vote. Vice President Ramirez.
Aye.
Clerk Cabrera.
Aye.
Board Member Magaña.
Aye.
Board Member Uribe.
Aye.
And an aye for me as well. That motion is carried. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, May 18, 2022 at 6 p.m. Good night, everyone.
Good
Good night, everyone.
Aye.
Good night, everybody.